Hey Giants fans, welcome back to Big Blue News, where we bring you the latest and most exclusive updates on our team. Today we've got some breaking news that's going to shake up the roster, and maybe even our season. So stick around because this one's important. But before we get into it, if you're a diehard Giants fan, make sure you're subscribed to Big Blue News. We're your go-to source for daily, engaging content on all things Big Blue. Help us reach our goal of 2,000 subscribers this offseason by hitting that subscribe button now. The Giants have made a couple of surprising cuts that might leave some of you scratching your heads. Defensive tackle Ryder Anderson and offensive tackle Yadni Kajusti are no longer with the team. But here's where it gets interesting. These moves weren't just about performance. They were driven by injuries, and that's where things get a bit more complicated. Let's start with Ryder Anderson. Anderson was waived with an injury designation. Now, for those who might not be familiar with what that means, when a player is waived with an injury designation, they're essentially released. But if they clear waivers, they revert to the team's injured reserve. This isn't just a simple cut. It's a strategic move that tells us a lot about how the Giants are managing their roster depth. Anderson showed some real promise during his time on the field. His potential was something that had fans excited. He's a player with the physical tools to develop into a solid contributor on the defensive line. But injuries have a way of derailing even the most promising careers. The fact that the Giants had to make this call means that his injury was serious enough that they couldn't afford to keep a roster spot open for him while he heals. Switching gears to Yadni Kajusti, this is another situation that deserves some attention. Kajusti was placed on injured reserve, meaning he's going to be sidelined for a significant amount of time. For an offensive line that's already facing a lot of questions, losing Kajusti could have some ripple effects. He was expected to provide depth and possibly compete for a backup role. His absence could leave the Giants thinner at a position where stability is crucial. These moves highlight just how critical health is in the NFL. The Giants are making tough decisions now to set themselves up for success later in the season. But it also raises questions about who will step up in their absence. The season is long, and as we all know, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Depth is everything in this league, and losing players like Anderson and Kajusti could force the Giants to dig even deeper into their roster. So, what does this mean for us as fans? Well, it's a reminder that the NFL is as much about strategy off the field as it is on it. The front office is constantly working to ensure that the best 53 players are ready to go each Sunday. While these cuts might seem harsh, they're part of a bigger plan to keep the team competitive throughout the grueling NFL season. As we get closer to the start of the season, keep an eye on how the Giants fill these gaps. Will a young player rise to the occasion? Will we see a new face step in and make an impact? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure. The Giants are making moves that show they're serious about contending this year. So, Giants Nation, what do you think? Are you worried about these cuts, or do you trust the process? Let us know in the comments, and as always, stay tuned for more exclusive updates right here on Giants News.